CEOs, what's up, your boy Siabashon, and I'm back with another video. You see where I'm at? You know what time it is? The fan's on, so let's go ahead and get into it. Self-reflection. What I'm thankful for. Being able to rest, let alone reset as many times needed. I'm thankful that I have the ability to readjust the way I go about things, to reconfigure in a sense. I've realized that if I'm not at my best, I won't be able to perform the way I know I can. That being said, I'm glad that I'm able to recognize when it's time to get rest, to then be rejuvenated. When I notice I'm tired, I'm glad that I choose to get rest instead of forcing things to avoid unnecessary stress. There's no need in overworking myself when I can pace myself to then go about things accordingly. Life can be a handful at times already. I've realized that being depleted and not taking care of myself can make things worse. I'm thankful that I'm not stubborn with myself and choose me, all of me, wholeheartedly. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of what I had to reflect on. Personally, for me this week, been kind of just drained, depleted. Whole lot of things in just life, just in itself. For me, I feel like it's kind of caught up with me in a sense. So that being the case, I've decided to just rest. Since yesterday, I went ahead and just took these past 2 days to just catch up with myself. Spent some time with my cousin. You know what I'm saying? We went to the studio, seen him make some magic, like on some real shit, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I just took some time to actually just catch up with myself and just get rest. And that for me, I feel like is very vital, if anything, because if I don't get rest, if I'm not at my best, then what do you expect? Like I know for me, like firsthand, like I already know the type of feeling I feel like, or I like the type of feeling I get whenever I'm like just drained, like mentally, just physically, like. So for me, that's honestly the worst feeling. And before, I used to just overthink things and not actually go ahead and just take a break. Like I would just overwork myself, but I realized like at that same time of me doing that kind of stuff, I'm actually hurting myself because I'm not doing things with a clear mind in a way that I know I can do things. So at that point, for me personally, it's just taking a step back in a sense and just really just regathering my thoughts and just getting acquainted with myself again in a sense. So that's pretty much it in terms of what I reflected on, let alone did this week. Past 2 days, really, I've been really doing that. However, yeah. So for me personally, I've realized that just getting rest and just taking care of myself and choosing to do that whenever needed is better than forcing things. Because when you force things, when you do things without a clear mind, in my experience, I've realized that you're just going to create and produce unnecessary stress that can be avoided by just simply even just getting rest. I think resting in itself is like one of the key medicines to life in a sense. Like you got to get enough rest to do whatever it is that you want to do in the best way possible. So health is wealth, all right? And with that being said, I have 2 screenshots that I feel like go well with what I had to share with y'all. The first one says, let yourself rest, okay? It says this: if you're exhausted, rest. If you don't feel like starting a new project, don't. If you don't feel the urge to make something new, just rest in the beauty of the old, the familiar, the known. If you don't feel like talking, stay silent. If you're fed up with the news, turn it off. If you want to postpone something until tomorrow, do it. If you want to do nothing, let yourself do nothing today. Feel the fullness of the emptiness, the vastness of the silence, the sheer life in your unproductive moment. Time does not always need to be filled. You are enough simply in your being. I'm saying that one more time. It's low-key long, but I think you understand where I'm going with it. Let yourself rest. If you're exhausted, rest. If you don't feel like starting a new project, don't. If you don't feel the urge to make something new, just rest in the beauty of the old, the familiar, the known. If you don't feel like talking, stay silent. If you're fed up with the news, turn it off. If you want to postpone something until tomorrow, do it. If you want to do nothing, let yourself do nothing today. Feel the fullness of the emptiness, the vastness of the silence, the sheer life in your unproductive moments. Time does not always need to be filled. You are enough simply in your being. And that's by Jeff Foster. So shout out to you, Jeff. And the last one says this: happiness is the real rich, health is the real wealth, kindness is the real cool, and peace of mind is the real bag. Let me say that one more time. Happiness is the real rich, health is the real wealth, kindness is the real cool, peace of mind is the real bag. The first screenshot that I had mentioned, which was by Jeff Foster, for me, what really stuck with that, like what he had said, the part about time does not always need to be filled. It's kind of the main reason why I selected that. It was pretty long in itself. Again, that part in itself, I had to have mentioned, because for me, like, that also kind of goes hand in hand with the reason why I feel like when I need to rest, instead of overworking myself, I can choose to get rest. It's okay if I'm not doing something right now. I think resting in itself is doing something, even though it's technically nothing at that moment. Like, it feels like it's nothing for me. So yeah, like, instead of filling myself with all these thoughts or doing these things, like taking up all the time that I have in a day, like, I can have some time that is just filled with, like, what is it? Time does not always need to be filled. So, like, there could be gaps in my day where I'm not doing nothing, but in a sense, I'm helping myself out because I'm kind of like resting. I'm like making sure that it's clarity over like a whole lot of things at once. You feel me? So it's kind of, it helps me personally just like to pace myself, if that makes sense. So that's what I've realized, that like, yo, time, that you don't have to do something at every single moment. Like, you don't need to be moving around at all times. Like, you can literally sit down, take a moment, get familiar with like the known, the stuff that you already know, what's up. Like, you don't have to constantly, like, you know, it's a lot of brain power, like, in general, like creativity, like producing outcomes, let alone planning things. Like, that's a lot of brain power, bruh. And we don't, like, sometimes we don't even, like, we're so busy that we don't even like notice that. So like, for me, just being able to like take a step back and just realize that, for me, I think it's vital, because I feel like if I don't take care of myself in the best way that I know I can, in the way that, you know what I'm saying, I think is best, then yeah, I'm gonna hurt myself by, you know what I'm saying, overworking. And then in itself, bro, like, I'm the type of person, right, to overthink things. So that's obviously the one thing that I'm trying not to at all, right? So I gotta make sure that I'm clear-minded and I have nothing like, you know, like nothing that has me like put a lot of energy towards when it doesn't need to be that way. You feel me? Okay, that was a lot, right? I know. Again, the last one, I just wanted to say, happiness is the real rich, health is the real wealth, kindness is the real cool, peace of mind is the real bag. On some real shit, I think in that, a lot of those are things that we already have, if that makes sense. Like, those are things that we don't have to go out of our way to go purchase, spend, physical, like, we have to trade off in a sense. Like, those are things that we can find within ourselves already, if that makes sense. So we can find happiness within ourselves. All right, health is real wealth, so taking care of ourselves, getting rest, that's, for me, that's true wealth, right? And then kindness, being kind, all right, being positive, that's really good, like, in itself, because that, you know what I'm saying, it in a sense, like, whoever you're around, if you're in a positive mood, that kind of like vibrates, and like those type of vibes, you know, you're kind of like if you're positive and if you're kind and if you're like, you know what I'm saying, like kind-hearted in a sense, like that's gonna give off a better type of like energy and vibe to others, those who are around you, versus, you know, being negative, because then you're just gonna be drained, and then you're gonna be around people, or like you might make it seem where like others might feel now they're getting those type of vibes from you. So all those kind of things comes from within you, and it's a choice at the end of the day, if that makes sense. I'm really not trying to talk your heads off, right? I'm letting you know what's up with my self-reflection, so I kind of just have to like let it out. You feel me? Like I gotta say everything I gotta say. And peace of mind is the real bag. Like for me, if I don't have enough rest, if I don't take care of myself, then you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna have a peace of mind. And like for me, I have to have clarity to go ahead and do anything in the best way possible. And last week we were literally just talking about, you and I were literally, remember about the whole focus, like instead of having like 5 things, like 20% each focus, it's 100% on one task. You feel me? So all that goes together. Just making sure that I get enough rest produces that outcome. Like for me to like actually go about things with a clear mind. Peace of mind, honestly, I've realized like fuck money in a sense. Like honestly, having my own peace, my own time, like my own, like all that kind of stuff it can come from me. You know what I'm saying? The money is something that you work towards, that's cool, but like for me, having just peace in general. Like I don't want no bad energy. I want good vibes. I don't want to be drained. So when this says peace of mind is the real bag, on some real shit, that's low key in a sense. It's kind of the real bag. You feel me? Like that's something that I want to stay in my bag for sure. But nonetheless, that's pretty much it in terms of what I had to reflect on. All right. Did not imagine it to be this long, because I didn't even say that much, I feel like. Okay, nonetheless, that's pretty much it in terms of what I reflected on. Let me know what you felt like reflecting on, or like if there was something that like you felt like you took away from my reflection. Go ahead and comment down below, add on. Maybe there's something that you might say that like I didn't even say or didn't even realize. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Anyways, it's your boy C. Arbisha. I'm gonna go ahead and continue my rest. I'm low-key tired still, and I'm gonna go ahead and take care of myself. That being the case, I hope that you have a blessed day. I hope that you have a productive day, just a chill day. Like honestly, take a day for yourself if needed. You feel me? Like don't blame yourself, don't feel bad. Like honestly, appreciate the time that you have with yourself. Like on some real shit. Peace of mind is the real bag, no cap. Reality is what you do next. Anyways, it's your boy C. Arbisha. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. I love y'all. Peace.